Welcome back to the program. If you haven't had a chance, which I know many of you have already, seen the interview that I did with Jason Alborn yesterday out of Australia, you definitely need to see it because it is a long reaching, multiple different subjects that we covered all at once. We did an entire hour together and we were getting updates by the minute, by the second sometimes. He was throwing things at me left and right and I was hitting them back, and it was a lot of fun. But there's a lot of really interesting content and commentary that you guys are all going to love. I didn't put it behind a paywall on purpose so that other people can see it as well. But let's update you now on what's going on. So, Iran has retaliated, and the defense minister, Israel Katz, has said that if Iran retaliates against Israel and shoots missiles, long-range missiles, into Israel, into Tel Aviv, where there are high population centers of people, then that will, quote, be a red line. Now, earlier in the day, Israel said that they were not going to target the political leaders of the Iranian regime. However, because of this retaliation, that has now changed. Listen to this. Defense Minister Israel Katz says that Iran has now, quote, crossed a red line after it dared to fire long-range missiles at civilian population concentrations inside of Israel. Quote, we will continue to defend the citizens of Israel and ensure that the Ayatollah regime pays a very heavy price for its heinous actions. Now, why is this important? Because when the Ayatollah says that Israel will pay a heavy price, it's all fluff. It's all propaganda. They don't have the ability to do that anymore, okay? But Israel certainly does. And Israel has now said that they are going to target political leaders, and yes, including the Ayatollah himself. So they just stepped in it big time. Now, the other thing that has broken is this. Because Iran cannot really get to Israel. I mean, they shot off a bunch of long-range missiles. The Iron Dome has basically shot them all down. A few of them got through, but not many, and that's to be expected. It's not 100%, but it's pretty close. And so they decided to switch tactics because Israel's too far. And I'm going to get into that here in just a minute. So they have decided to attack the embassy in Baghdad, Iraq. Instead, the embassy is now under attack. Sirens are sounding off at the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. Now, what's interesting about this is that just the other day, President Trump ordered that embassy in particular, another one, I believe, in was it Bahrain, I think, and somewhere else, and Kuwait is what it was, and said, get out now. We're not going to tell you why, just get out now. And so on Thursday, the U.S. Embassy in Iraq was ordered to be evacuated. Event June 11th, the United States Department of State orders the departure of emergency personnel and U.S. government personnel from Iraq. And so they attacked the embassy, but yet, from what we can understand right now, we haven't heard any reports. It doesn't look as though there was too many people there. And so that's why I'm saying that Iran is in the last throes of their regime. And the reason they're the largest state sponsor of terrorism is pretty simple. Location. They are 1,200 miles away from Israel. However, Hezbollah, which is located, of course, and headquartered in Beirut, Lebanon, they are about 230 miles away. And, of course, you have Hamas, which is in the Gaza area, which is about 40 miles away from Israel and Tel Aviv. And so because of the fact that they are 1,200 miles away, when they do shoot off logistic long-range missiles, they've got to clear all the way over the entire country of Iraq before they even get there. So honestly, they don't really have the capabilities, and especially not now because this attack was executed so perfect with precision and planned out so well that the reality is that as they were attacking the Natanz nuclear reactors and other locations, and of course the Iranian Revolutionary Guard taking out the scientists, taking out, of course, some of the head leadership, military leadership, and everything else, they were also targeting launch pads and missile silos at the exact same time, meaning that Iran is very limited in what they have as the ability by themselves to launch a counterattack right now. Israel has them dead to rights. And now they're going after what is known as Fordo. Fordo is a hidden military installation and uranium enrichment location buried deep into a mountain in the town of Fordo, Iran. And right now it's already under attack. They have hit it hard. They've hit Natanz. They've destroyed the nuclear reactors in Natanz. They're trying to get to Fordo right now as we speak. And they will be able to eliminate that as well. And so the reality here is the reason Iran has been such a strong state sponsor of terrorism and using proxies for so long is due to their location. They're not right next door to Israel, but yet Hamas and Hezbollah are. And so Hamas and Hezbollah have been doing the dirty work for decades against Israel. The reality is that now that Israel has taken out Hamas, has taken out Hezbollah, that all changed on October 7th. They're no longer fighting back against the proxies. Now they're going after the head of the Iranian snake. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And that is why I feel this regime is on borrowed time. And who knows, as they're saying now, they may target with assassination the Ayatollah himself. So we're going to see what happens. This thing is still unfolding as we speak. But Benjamin Netanyahu decided to do something that I think is highly intelligent. One of the ways that you can put pressure on a regime to fold or to be overthrown is to encourage the people that are oppressed by that regime. And that is exactly what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing right now. Listen to his very short 2-minute speech and the words that he says.
Tonight I wish to speak to you, the proud people of Iran. We're in the midst of one of the greatest military operations in history, Operation Rising Lion. The Islamic regime, which has oppressed you for nearly 50 years, threatens to destroy my country, the State of Israel. The objective of Israel's military operation is to remove this threat, both the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat to Israel. And as we achieve our objectives, we're also clearing the path for you to achieve your objective, which is freedom. In the past 24 hours, we've taken out top military commanders, senior nuclear scientists, the Islamic regime's most significant enrichment facility, and a large portion of its ballistic missile arsenal. More is on the way. The regime doesn't know what hit them. They don't know what will hit them. The nation of Iran and the nation of Israel have been true friends since the days of Cyrus the Great. And the time has come for you to unite around your flag and your historic legacy by standing up for your freedom from an evil and oppressive regime. It has never been weaker. This is your opportunity to stand up and let your voices be heard. Woman, life, freedom. Zan, Zandegi, Azadi. As I said yesterday and many times before, Israel's fight is not with you. It's not with you, the brave people of Iran, whom we respect and admire. Our fight is with our common enemy, a murderous regime that both oppresses you and impoverishes you. Brave people of Iran, your light will defeat the darkness. I'm with you. The people of Israel are with you.
And there it is. He is trying to ignite the citizens, the people of Iran, to take out their own leadership. What he has done has given them the greatest opportunity in 46 years to finally not be oppressed anymore. And what we need to do next, honestly, is we need to arm the right people in Iran. And perhaps there are paramilitary groups that are anti-regime that the State Department can recognize, and work with and support them so that they can overtake their own regime. We don't want to put boots on the ground. We don't need another Iraq type of war. We have decimated Iran's leadership right now. They are ripe for the overthrow and taking right now. And this is what it means when peaceful nations such as Israel and the United States want to get peace through superior strength. That's what's happening right now. And I think in the end, this regime is on its way out. And finally, the people of Iran, the great people of Iran, not your government, the people of Iran, just as Bibi mentioned, you will once again be free. You will once have an opportunity to live the life that you want to live, that you deserve to live. And I think that time is coming very, very soon. So crazy things are happening, but we're going to see what happens overall. Now, I'm going to switch topics to two other things. This is something that I didn't know, but I told you that one of the reasons that the big, beautiful bill, or the big, beautiful rewrite, as I've been calling it, was going to go to the Senate and was going to get changed. Well, it's being changed, and it's being changed for the better. One thing that I didn't know about, we just found out, is they're redoing and revamping our healthcare system to be like the old healthcare system before the Kenyan wizard jumped in and tried to give healthcare for all, which would be government sponsored. Listen to what HHS Secretary Kennedy says about the healthcare plan that has now been included in the Senate's version of this bill. Love it.
I know that you feel strongly about the big, beautiful bill. Tell us what the impact is on HHS for you.
Well, it's going to it's going to help us do what we need to do with healthcare in this country, is to improve the quality of our healthcare and lower the cost and give Americans more choice. One of the things that it does, it allows health savings accounts, which are very popular with the American people, so that you can put pre-tax money aside to pay for certain things that are relevant to healthcare. For example, Jim.
That is something that Republicans have been trying to do, I don't know, at least 10 years, maybe even 20 years. They've been talking about doing this, health savings accounts. This is now part of the bill that I just found out. Listen to this. How about, would you like a free membership for your gym? Check this out.
Memberships will be paid for. For $75 a month, under this bill, you'll be able to get a concierge doctor who is available 24 hours a day, every day of the week, every day of the year. And you'll be able, and you won't get a bill for it. You won't have to file insurance claims. It's just like old style healthcare, but it's for $75 a month. We're also going to allow the creation of on-site medical centers by employers at factories, at workplaces where workers can get treated for free. So somebody won't have to leave work for 4 or 5 hours to get a medical checkup. They'll be able to do that on site. There are many, many other really great things in this bill that
very
we need to get
interesting.
it passed.
I look forward.
What do you think of that, huh? So look, one of the things that RFK Jr. understands is that a healthy body, a healthy mind, makes for less costs in healthcare. The people that eat right, that exercise, that get their sleep, that's something I need to work on because I'm a late night person. But anyway, I do the other good things. And so what ends up happening is the people that take care of their body, right? They always say your body is your temple, right? So if you eat right, you put the right food in your body, and you exercise, guess what? Healthcare costs are going to go down. Why? Because there's going to be more people that are going to be healthy. I mean, it's kind of common sense. You don't have to be a doctor to figure that one out, right? And so what are they doing? They're including that in this big, giant bill. I didn't know that there was anything having to do with healthcare in it. And to know that that is now included in the bill, hopefully it'll be in the final version, that's pretty cool. I mean, you're going to have gym memberships and things like that. So wanted to bring that to people's attention. I think it's really interesting. Now, I'm going to end with something really awesome. Check this out, okay? 3 U.S. aid officials, okay, and government contractors have pleaded guilty to a decades-long bribery scheme involving over $550 million in contracts, according to the Justice Department. According to court documents, beginning in 2013, U.S. aid. Who was in office in 2013? Oh, yeah, that's right. The captain of the Kenyan Debate Club was. So U.S. aid official Roderick Wilson agreed with corporate executive Darrell Britt to receive bribes in exchange for Watson's influence to award contracts to a small business named Aprio and its subcontractor Vistant. Watson received more than $1 million in bribes to steer no-bid contracts to Aprio and Vistant, a race-based government program that allowed socially and economically disadvantaged businesses to bid on contracts made this massive scheme possible. As a certified small business under the SBA, the Small Business Association, contracting program, which helps socially and economically disadvantaged businesses, Aprio could access lucrative federal contracting opportunities through set-asides and sole source contracts exclusively available to eligible contractors without a competitive bid process. Now, this is an indictment by the Department of Justice. I want to make sure that you understand that. This is Pam Bondi, the FBI. They are doing their job. And it starts to, it makes me think and remind myself, remember when Elon said about maybe a month and a half to 2 months ago, he was on some show and he said, we've found not just fraud, but we've found crimes, and we have sent that to the Department of Justice. He said that about probably a month and a half to 2 months ago. Well, this looks like the results of what he was talking about. 4 men, including a government contracting official for the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and 3 owners and presidents of companies have all pleaded guilty for their roles in a decades-long bribery scheme involving at least 14 prime contracts worth over $550 million in U.S. taxpayer money. That's right, we paid to be bribed. Roderick Wilson, 57, of Woodstock, Maryland, who worked as a USAID contracting officer, pleaded guilty to bribery of a public official. Walter Barnes, 46 years old, of Potomac, Maryland, who was the owner and president of PM Consulting Group, LLC, doing business as Vistant, a certified small business under the U.S. Small Business Administration, the SBA, contracting program, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery of a public official and securities fraud. Darrell Britt, 64, of Mayaca City, Florida, who was the owner and president of Aprio, Inc., a certified small business contracting program, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery of a public official. And Paul Young, 62, of Columbia, Maryland, who was the president of a subcontractor to Vistant and Aprio, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery of public officials. The defendants sought to enrich themselves at the expense of the American taxpayers through bribery and fraud, said Matthew R. Galletti, head of the Justice Department's Criminal Division. Their scheme violated the public's trust by corrupting the federal government's procurement process. Anybody who cares about good and effective government should be concerned about the waste, fraud, and abuse in government agencies, including at USAID. Those who engage in bribery schemes to exploit the U.S. Small Business Administration's vital economic programs for small businesses, whether individuals or corporations, will be held to account. So there you go. There's another indictment coming down the pike. You know, one of the things that I said a while ago is that, yeah, it would be wonderful to cut all this waste, fraud, and abuse. And by the way, it did pass the House. Now it's got to go to the Senate. That's its next hurdle. $9.4 billion, which was USAID. It was NPR and PBS. And so 4 rhino traitorous Republicans voted against it, but it still had enough votes to pass the House. Now it moves on to the Senate. But as I was saying before that, the bottom line here is that even though Doge so far hasn't cut, quote unquote, trillions and trillions of dollars, as they certainly said that they would, they've done a lot of other really great things as a byproduct of the entire Doge department. And that is finding crimes. And the thing is at the end, whenever Doge is done, and it may take a long time, they're going to give criminal referrals in the agencies where they find fraud and they find crimes. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning of what we should see in the next coming months, maybe years, of more and more and more of these types of indictments coming down out of nowhere. One thing I'm learning about this Department of Justice is that they're quiet, they're meticulous, they're secretive, and they do not talk until they need to. And when they do, typically, that means that their cases are ironclad. Let's hope lots of people are held accountable. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.